I woke up that morning telling myself, today has to be different. I kept repeating it while I put on my graduation gown, hoping the words would force the day to finally mean something. For once, I wanted to believe I mattered. I wanted to believe my parents would show up because they said they would. Ethan, you ready? I whispered to my reflection, forcing a smile. Don't get your hopes up too much. But I still did. I grabbed my phone and checked it again. Nothing. No new messages. No reminders that they loved me or were on their way. Still, I stepped out of the house with a strange mix of hope and fear burning in my chest. When I reached the school, the sky looked heavy and gray, but I tried to shake it off. Weather's just being dramatic, I muttered to myself. Not today. Not for me. But it started raining anyway. By the time I stood in line with the other graduates, my hair and gown were already damp. I kept checking my phone every 30 seconds. Emily walked up with an umbrella and nudged me. You good? She asked. Yeah, I said too quickly. They're just running late. She gave me a look like she didn't believe a word, but she didn't push. Well, I'm here. So you're not alone. I nodded, but my eyes stayed glued to the entrance. Any second now. Any second they'd show up. A vibration hit my pocket. I swear my heart jumped. I opened the message fast. Mom, we're running late. Ryan has something important. We'll try to make it. Try. I whispered. Try to make my graduation? Emily heard the crack in my voice. What did they say? They're trying, I said, forcing my throat not to close. Emily sighed. Ethan. It's fine. I cut her off. I just need to stop expecting too much. When we finally took our seats on the field, parents filled the rows, cheering, waving signs, calling their kids' names. I kept scanning the crowd for even the slightest sign of mine. A hand. A wave. A face. Something. Anything. But the seat where they should have been stayed empty. The principal began the ceremony. Names echoed through the speakers. Applause followed every single one. I kept checking my phone until my screen was slippery from the rain. Nothing else came. My chest tightened more every minute. My name was getting closer. My seat stayed empty. When the speaker finally said, Ethan Walker, the world felt too quiet. I stood up, my legs heavy, rain dripping down my sleeves. Emily whispered, I'm clapping for you, okay? I nodded without looking at her, because if I did, I'd break. I walked across the stage alone. No cheers. No family shouting my name. Just the sound of rain hitting plastic chairs, and the polite applause of strangers who didn't know me. Congratulations, the principal said as he handed me my diploma. Thanks, I forced out. When I stepped off the stage, I glanced again at the crowd and whispered, You couldn't come for this? After the ceremony ended, people ran toward their families with flowers, balloons, hugs, and squeals of pride. I just stood there, dripping, holding a diploma that suddenly felt like nothing. Emily rushed over. Ethan, come on, let's get you out of the rain. I'm fine, I said, though I was shaking. You're soaked, she insisted. I said I'm fine. My voice cracked mid-sentence, and I hated how weak it sounded. She stepped closer. Talk to me. I looked away. I shouldn't be surprised. I don't know why I thought today would be different. You deserved better, she said softly. Yeah, I whispered. But wanting it doesn't make it real. While we walked toward the side of the field, a father near us said, We've got to hurry if we want to make Ryan Bennett's match. Big day for that kid. I froze. Emily stopped too. Did he just say? Yeah, I muttered. Emily looked at me with wide eyes. Ethan, no way. My hands trembled as I unlocked my phone. I typed Ryan's name into the search bar. A live stream thumbnail popped up instantly. Rain ran into my eyes as I clicked it. The video loaded, and there they were. My mom and Mark. Front row. Smiling. Cheering. Holding a sign with Ryan's name on it like they'd never missed a single second of his life. Emily covered her mouth. They're there? Right now. I stared at the screen, rain mixing with whatever was leaking from my eyes. Yeah, I whispered. They were never coming. The world felt heavier than the storm around me. Something inside me tore open, quietly, painfully, like it had been waiting years for this final crack. I sat in the rain alone, I said under my breath. And they didn't even care enough to lie better. Emily rested a hand on my shoulder. Ethan, I'm here. I know, I whispered. But they're not. For the first time, I finally believed it. When Emily dropped me off after graduation, she kept asking, Are you sure you'll be okay? I'll survive, I said, forcing a smile I didn't feel. Thanks for staying with me. You can call me anytime, she said. I mean it. I know. But when she drove away, I felt the emptiness hit me hard. The street looked the same, the house looked the same, but I didn't. Something inside me felt cracked in a way I couldn't fix. I stepped inside and shut the door quietly. No one was home. Of course not. They were still at the match, cheering for Ryan. I dropped my wet gown on the floor and finally pulled out my phone. My fingers trembled. I typed, "You didn't come." A minute passed. Then 2. Then 5. Finally, my screen lit up. Mom, Ryan needed us. That was it. No apology. No explanation. No guilt. Just Ryan needed us. I sank onto the couch and whispered it out loud. Ryan needed us. And I didn't. My chest tightened. I texted back. It was my graduation. Another reply came almost instantly. Mom, we'll celebrate later. Don't be dramatic. Don't be dramatic? I whispered, laughing in disbelief. You skipped your son's graduation and I'm dramatic? My thumbs flew over the screen. I waited for you in the rain. No reply. I stared at the 3 dots that appeared, then disappeared, then appeared again. Finally, nothing. Silence. The kind of silence that hurts. I dropped my phone beside me and leaned back, covering my face. Memories started flooding in, hitting me like punches. Hey, Mom, can you come to my spelling bee tonight? Sorry, Ethan, Ryan has practice. Dad, can you help me with my project? Ryan has a tournament. Ask your mother. Will you come to my band concert? Oh no, honey, Ryan's team made playoffs. We can't miss that. Birthday cakes bought late, gifts forgotten, promises broken. Me smiling through all of it, pretending it didn't hurt. Pretending I wasn't the extra kid in the corner of the family photo. I ran a hand through my hair and whispered, why did I believe today would be different? I heard the front door unlock, and my stomach twisted. Mark's voice filled the hallway, loud and excited. Did you see that goal? That kid's unstoppable. Scouts are gonna fight for him. I stayed still, hoping he wouldn't notice me. Mom answered. I knew skipping the ceremony was worth it. Ryan needed us there. My throat tightened. Ryan added, yeah, no reason to go sit around some boring graduation when something important was happening. Something inside me cracked again. Not loud, but deep. Mark laughed. Exactly. Ethan will understand. He's used to it. Used to it. Used to being ignored. Used to being second to Ryan. Used to being nothing. I stood up slowly. My voice was low when I said, I'm right here. They all froze. Ryan stepped back like I'd startled him. Mom said, Ethan, we didn't know you were home. Why would you? I said, you didn't know I was at my graduation either. Mom frowned. Please don't start. I'm not starting, I said. I'm just telling the truth. Ryan rolled his eyes. Dude, don't make this about you. I had a huge game. A game, I said. My graduation happens once. Your games happen every week. Mark crossed his arms. Watch your tone. Ryan's future is important for all of us. I guess mine isn't, I whispered. Mom sighed. Ethan, you're being sensitive. Right, I said. Sensitive. Ryan smirked. You always make everything dramatic. I felt my jaw shake. I walked across the stage alone, I said. My seat was empty. Everyone else had someone. I had no one. Mom opened her mouth, probably to defend herself again, but I walked past them without waiting for another excuse. I went straight to my room, shut the door, and slid down to the floor. The cheers from the live stream still played downstairs. I could hear them replaying Ryan's goal, cheering like it was the only thing that mattered. My phone buzzed. Emily, you home? She asked. Yeah, I whispered. You sound weird. What happened? They said Ryan needed them, I said. That's all they said. Emily was silent for a moment, then she whispered. Ethan, I'm so sorry. I swallowed hard. You want to know something? What? I don't think they ever wanted me. The line stayed quiet, but I could hear her breathing. She didn't argue. She didn't tell me I was wrong. Come here, she said softly. You don't have to stay in that house alone. I'm tired, I whispered. I just need a minute. Call me if you need me. Please. I will. When the call ended, I picked up my diploma from the desk. I stared at it for a long time. It should have meant something. It should have felt like an achievement. But sitting there in my hands, it felt like a reminder. A reminder that I didn't matter enough for them to show up. I set it down carefully and whispered, why does this feel like nothing? And for a long time, I just sat there in the dim room, listening to cheers that were never for me. When I walked into the house, The air felt tight, like it was waiting for me to break. Mom turned from the sink and said, "Ethan, we need to talk." I dropped my bag. "About missing my graduation?" She sighed. "Honey, Ryan's scout was there. You know how important that was. Important enough to forget your son's graduation?" I asked. "You promised you'd be there." Mark stepped into the room with that annoyingly calm look. "Ethan, you need to be more understanding. Ryan has a real chance at something big. And I don't." I shot back. "Does anything I do matter at all?" Mom rubbed her forehead. "Please don't start this. Today was chaotic. It was supposed to be my day," I said. "But you made it about Ryan." "Again." Mark groaned. "You're blowing everything out of proportion." I laughed. "Really?" I stood alone in the rain. I crossed the stage with no one cheering. But sure, I'm dramatic. The room went quiet. Then Ryan strolled in, wiping sweat from his forehead. "What's going on?" he asked. I glared at him. "They skipped my graduation for your game." Ryan smirked. "Dude, it was an important match. You'll have other ceremonies." "Name one," I snapped. "Go ahead. Name one thing you didn't take from me." Mom raised her voice. "Enough. We're tired, and this argument isn't helping." "It's helping me," I said. "It's helping me finally see the truth." Mark frowned. "What truth?" "That I'm not part of this family," I said. "I'm just background noise in Ryan's life." Ryan scoffed. "Stop being dramatic." "Say that again," I said, stepping forward. "Say it to my face." Mom pushed between us. "Both of you stop. We're not doing this." "I'm done," I whispered. "I'm so tired of begging for crumbs." Mom reached for my arm. "Ethan, please, we can talk later." I pulled away. There's nothing left to say. I headed toward the door. "Where are you going?" Mark asked. "To breathe," I said. "Something I can't do here." I stepped outside before they could stop me. I called Emily. She answered fast. "Ethan, are you okay?" "No," I said. "Can I come over?" "Yes, right now," she said. "My mom's here too." When I arrived, Emily's mom opened the door. "Sweetheart, come in," she said, pulling me into a hug. "Are you hungry?" "No," I said. "Just tired." Emily touched my arm. "Sit down. Tell us what happened." I sat on the couch. The words poured out. They didn't come. They didn't care. They never care. Emily's mom squeezed my shoulder. "I'm sorry, honey." Emily sat beside me. "You're not alone, okay?" "Not here." I felt my throat tighten. Why do they treat me like I don't matter? Emily whispered, "You matter to me." For the first time in years, I cried. Not quietly, but fully, painfully, letting everything out. Emily held me without saying anything. Her mom brought me water and a blanket. "Rest," she said. "You're safe here." I leaned back and breathed. No shouting. No comparison. No disappointment. Just quiet. Peaceful, warm, unfamiliar quiet. Emily whispered, "You don't have to stay there, you know." I stared at the ceiling. Maybe you're right. A small spark flickered inside me. Maybe I didn't have to keep living like this. Maybe I could choose something better. Emily leaned forward. "What do you want to do?" I shrugged. "I don't know. I've never been allowed to want anything." She frowned. "That's not true. You just weren't heard." "Same thing," I muttered. Emily's mom returned with tea. "Drink this," she said. "It'll help." I took the cup. "Thank you." She smiled. "You're part of this house too, even if it's just for tonight." I swallowed hard. "That means more than you think." Emily nodded. "You can stay as long as you need." I looked at her. "I might take you up on that." She smiled. "Good." I leaned back again. "Emily." "Yeah. Do you think anything will change if I go back home?" She hesitated. "Do you want the truth?" "Always." "No," she said softly. "They won't change until they lose you." That hit me deep. "I'm tired of being lost already," I whispered. Emily's mom touched my shoulder. "Then stop letting them drown you." I stared at my hands. "Maybe I will." Emily said, "You're stronger than you think." I breathed slowly. "I'll figure it out." She nodded. "One step at a time." I closed my eyes. For the first night in a long time, I felt like maybe, just maybe, I had somewhere I belonged. Even if it wasn't home. Not yet, but maybe someday. I whispered, "Thank you for seeing me when they never did." Emily smiled softly. "You're family to us, Ethan." I breathed out slowly, letting warmth in. When I walked into school the next morning, I kept my head down, hoping no one would ask about the ceremony. My gown was still hanging in my room, damp from the rain, and every time I thought about it, something twisted in my chest. I was at my locker when Mason suddenly stepped beside me. "Yo, Ethan," he said, sounding weirdly nervous. "Can I talk to you for a second?" I closed my locker slowly. "About what?" He rubbed the back of his neck. "Look, man, I didn't know. I swear I didn't know till yesterday." "Didn't know what?" I asked. Mason glanced around. "About your graduation. Ryan said your family was busy." "Busy," I repeated. "Right." He swallowed. "He also said something else last week. During practice." He kind of broke down. My stomach tightened. "What did he say?" Mason hesitated. "He said he was stressed because of you. Because you always ruin everything at home." His words, not mine. I stared at him. "He said I ruin everything?" "Yeah, and he cried," Mason said. Full-on cried. Coach had to calm him down. I felt heat rising in my face. "So he was playing the victim?" Mason looked guilty. "I thought you should know." "Thanks," I muttered, even though the words tasted bitter. When he left, I leaned against the locker and whispered, "I ruin everything." Hearing that from Ryan, after everything else, felt like being punched. At lunch, I sat alone until Sarah walked up and placed a tray across from me. "Ethan, I need to tell you something." I sighed. "Let me guess. Ryan said something else." "No," she said. "This was Mark. That got my attention fast." "What about him?" "I heard him talking to another parent yesterday," she said quietly. "He said you've been holding Ryan back because you always want attention at home." I froze. "Holding him back?" She nodded. "He said Ryan could focus better if you weren't so emotional." I rested my elbows on the table and covered my face. "So I'm the family burden now." Sarah touched my arm. "You're not. They're just wrong." But it didn't feel wrong. It felt like confirmation of everything they'd been silently telling me for years. I didn't eat. I didn't talk. I just sat there, feeling something heavy pressing into my ribs. When the bell rang, I dragged myself to my next class, but I barely heard anything the teacher said. After school, Coach Harris found me before I could leave campus. "Walk with me," he said. I followed him to the empty hallway. He looked at me in a way that made me feel seen, which was almost painful. "You haven't been yourself," he said. "Tell me what's going on." I tried to shrug it off. "Just family stuff." "Ethan," he said, firm but gentle, "you don't have to pretend with me." The words slipped out before I could stop them. "They didn't come to my graduation." His eyes softened. "I'm sorry. Truly." "They went to Ryan's game," I said. "They cheered for him while I walked the stage alone." He shook his head. "You didn't deserve that." "No," I whispered. "But it keeps happening, and I keep hoping it'll change." He leaned against the wall. "Listen to me carefully. You are worth more than the way they treat you." My breath caught. No adult had ever said that to me. He continued, "You're smart. You work hard. You pay attention. That matters. Which is why I want you to apply for something." "What?" I asked. "A scholarship program. It's competitive, but you're the kind of student they want. I can write your recommendation." I blinked. "Seriously?" "Seriously," he said. "You deserve a chance to build your own future." I looked at the floor. "My family won't support that." "Do it anyway," he said. "Do it for you." Something warm flickered inside me, small but real. "If you really think I can do it." "I know you can," he said. For the first time in a long time, I felt hope push against the heavy ache in my chest. "Okay," I said. "I'll apply." He smiled. "Good. And one more thing." "Yeah. You're not the problem in that house," he said. "Remember that." I didn't trust my voice, so I just nodded. But inside, something shifted. Maybe I wasn't the villain in Ryan's story. Maybe I was just the only one they never bothered to understand. As I walked home, the sky looked brighter than the day before. And for the first time, I wasn't thinking about how they'd react. I was thinking about what I wanted. When I got home that evening, I walked through the door quietly, hoping no one would notice me. I wanted to go straight to my room, finish the scholarship application, and pretend the world didn't exist for a while. But the moment I stepped inside, Mark's voice exploded from the living room. "What the hell is this?" I stopped mid-step. "What?" He held up my printed scholarship essay. "You applied behind our backs?" My stomach twisted. "How did you even get that?" Mom stepped forward. "It was on your desk. We were cleaning." "You were snooping," I said. Mark slammed the papers on the table. "You think you can just make decisions like this without telling us? Without asking? Why would I need permission to apply for a scholarship?" I asked. Ryan walked in with a smirk. "Dude, you? A A scholarship? Seriously. I clenched my fists. Yeah, seriously. He snorted. You'll never make it anywhere. You can barely talk to people. Mark pointed a finger at me. This is what ungrateful looks like. After everything we do for you, you try to leave us? I felt something inside me snap. Everything you do for me? Like ignoring me? Forgetting me? Acting like I'm a burden every single day. Mom flinched. Ethan, don't say things like that. Why not? I asked. It's true. Ryan rolled his eyes. Here we go again. I rounded on him. You told your team I ruin everything at home. He blinked. Who told you that? It doesn't matter, I said. You said it. Ryan shrugged. Well, you kind of do. Mark folded his arms. You bring stress into this house. Ryan needs stability. I laughed sharp, humorless. Yeah, God forbid your golden boy hears someone else's name for once. Mom raised her hands. Stop yelling. I'm not yelling, I said. I'm finally telling the truth. Ryan smirked. Truth. No one even notices you half the time. That's the problem. I shouted. No one notices me until you need someone to blame. Mom's eyes filled with tears. I can't handle all this drama. Drama? I asked. Mom, I walked across the stage alone. I waited in the rain for you. You never came. We told you Ryan had a scout, she whispered. And I had a graduation. I shouted. My first. My last. And you chose him. Ryan shrugged. It wasn't personal. It always is, I said. Every decision. Every moment. It's always him. Mark slammed his hand on the table. Enough. You're acting like a selfish child. A selfish child? I repeated quietly. For wanting my parents to show up? Ryan muttered. This is pathetic. I turned to him slowly. Do you know what it feels like to never be chosen? Ryan opened his mouth, but I kept going. To sit alone while everyone else has someone? To watch you get everything, attention, praise, love, while I get excuses. Mom reached toward me. Ethan, please calm down. I stepped back. I'm done calming down. I'm done being quiet. I'm done begging. Mark's voice hardened. If you walk out that door tonight, don't expect us to fix this mess for you. I stared at him. What mess? I already live in one. He took a step toward me. Do not talk back to me. Or what? I asked. You'll ignore me harder? Ryan snorted. Dude, stop embarrassing yourself. I turned toward the hallway. I'm done here. Mom gasped. Where are you going? Away from this house, I said. Away from all of you. You're overreacting, Mark snapped. No, I said. I'm finally reacting. I walked into my room, grabbed a backpack, and shoved a few clothes inside. My hands shook, but not from fear, from a strange sense of freedom. For the first time in my life, the walls didn't feel like they were closing in. They felt like they were letting me go. Mom followed me to the doorway. Ethan, don't do this. Please. Just talk to me. I've been talking for years, I said. You just never listened. Ryan needs us, she said softly. I froze. Yeah, I know he does. And I hope you keep giving him everything he wants. I zipped the bag. Because I'm done fighting for a spot in my own family. Her eyes filled again. Honey. Goodbye, Mom, I said. She reached out, but I walked past her. My legs felt shaky, but I kept moving. When I got to the door, Ryan called out. You'll be back. I didn't look at him. No, I said. I won't. I stepped outside and dialed Emily. She answered instantly. Ethan, what's wrong? I need a ride, I whispered. Where are you? She asked. At home, I said. But not for long. I'm coming, she said. A few minutes later, her car pulled up. She jumped out. What happened? They found the scholarship stuff, I said. It got ugly. She looked at the bag in my hand. You're leaving? Yeah, I whispered. I can't stay here anymore. She nodded. Get in. You're safe now. I sat in the passenger seat, breathing hard. The house behind me felt like a prison gate finally swinging open. As we drove away, Emily placed her hand on mine. You did the right thing. I looked out the window at the dark street passing by. I chose me, I whispered. For the first time in my life, it felt like enough. Emily's house became my shelter faster than I expected. The first morning I woke up on their couch, her mom smiled at me like I'd always belonged there. There's breakfast on the table, she said. Eat as much as you want. I rubbed my eyes. Thank you. Really. You don't have to thank me every time, she said. Your family here. Those words hit deeper than she knew. Emily walked in, hair messy, holding 2 mugs. Here, she said. Coffee. Mandatory for starting your new life. My new life, huh? I said. Yep, she replied. Step 1. Stop checking your phone every 5 seconds. I lowered the phone in my hand. I'm not. You are, she said. It's okay. Just don't let them control you anymore. I nodded, but the truth was I had been checking. Mom had texted 16 times since I left. Ethan, please come home. We can talk. This isn't healthy. Mark didn't mean what he said. Ryan misses you. I didn't answer a single one. Later that week, Emily and I sat in the living room when her TV lit up with a local sports channel. Ryan's team was playing again. I froze the moment I saw his name. Want me to turn it off? Emily asked. No, I said. It's fine. We watched quietly. Ryan sprinted across the field, the ball at his feet. He was fast, always had been, but something looked different. His movements were messy, frantic, almost desperate. The announcer shouted, Bennett loses the ball again. That's his 3rd mistake today. I felt my chest tighten. He never plays like that. Emily leaned forward. He looked stressed. Then it happened. Ryan missed a wide-open shot. Completely whiffed it. The crowd groaned. His teammates yelled at him. Ryan shouted back. Words were exchanged. Hands flew up. The coach benched him. Emily whispered, Wow. I didn't cheer. I didn't smile. I didn't feel good about it. But I felt something strange, like the universe had quietly tilted. My phone buzzed. Mom, call me. Please. I placed the phone face down. 2 days later, rumors spread at school faster than wildfire. The scouts aren't impressed, Mason told me awkwardly. Some are backing out. I just nodded. Okay, you're not happy about that, right? He asked. No, I said. I don't want him to fail. I just want to stop being blamed for everything. Mason exhaled. Makes sense. When I got home, Emily's home, her mom asked, Rough day? Not really, I said. Just strange. She nodded. Strange can be good. That night, while Emily was doing homework, my phone rang. This time it wasn't Mom. It was Mark. I stared at the screen. Emily looked up. You gonna answer? I shook my head. Good, she said. He doesn't deserve your voice. The phone kept ringing, vibrating against the table like it was shaking from anger. I let it. That felt like karma too. The next morning, Coach Harris stopped me outside the building. Ethan, got a minute? My heart jumped. Yeah, what's up? He smiled. You made the shortlist for the scholarship's final round. I almost couldn't speak. You're serious? Very, he said. Your essay was strong. Your recommendations were stronger. I swallowed. I didn't think I'd even get this far. That's because you've spent your whole life being told you're less, he said. But you're not. You're capable. I stared at the ground. Thank you. Don't thank me yet, he said. Finish strong. You've earned this. As he walked away, I felt something warm in my chest, something unfamiliar and powerful. Hope. Not the fragile kind I used to hold on to waiting for my family to choose me. This hope was mine, built by me. When I met up with Emily after school, she grinned. So, what did Coach want? I tried not to smile too hard. I made the shortlist. She squealed and threw her arms around me. Ethan, that's amazing. I froze for a second, then hugged her back. Yeah, feels unreal. You deserve this, she said. You're finally getting what you've earned. That night, at dinner with her family, her mom said, We'll help you prepare if you need anything. I almost choked. You do that? Of course, she said. You're working hard. We're proud of you. Proud. That word alone almost made me emotional. After dinner, I stepped outside for air. Emily followed me. You okay? I don't know, I said. Everything's changing fast. Good changes, she said. Yeah. I looked at the night sky. It felt bigger than usual, like it was opening up instead of closing in. Emily nudged me. You keep waiting for something bad to happen. I guess I do, I said. I'm used to things falling apart. She shook her head. Not this time. Your life's finally shifting in your favor. I breathed slowly. Feels like karma finally spoke. She smiled softly. Not revenge karma. Just balance. Yeah, I whispered. Balance. We stood there quietly. No shouting. No comparisons. No blame. For the first time in my life, I wasn't scared of what came next. I wasn't waiting for someone to hurt me. I wasn't drowning in their expectations or failures. I was healing. Slowly. On my own terms. And for the first time ever, it felt like I had a future that belonged to me. I was sitting on the porch steps at Emily's house when I heard a car door slam. I didn't think much of it until I heard my name. Ethan. My whole body stiffened. I knew that voice too well. Mom. I turned slowly and saw her walking up the driveway with Ryan behind her. He looked uneasy, like he wasn't sure if he should be there. Emily stepped outside. Do you want me to stay? Yes, I said. Please. Mom stopped a few feet away. Honey, we need to talk. I took a breath. About what? Ryan crossed his arms. Mom said we should fix things. I stared at him. Should you? Or do you want to? He looked away. It's complicated. It always is with you, I said. Mom stepped closer. Ethan, you leaving the house scared me. I haven't slept. I've been calling, texting. I know, I said. I saw everything. Then why didn't you answer? She asked. Because I needed space, I said. And you never give me any. Ryan exhaled loudly. Look, dude. I'm sorry, okay? For what? I asked. He rubbed the back of his neck. For everything. I don't know. Things have been rough. The team is on my case. The scouts backed off. Coach benched me. I'm stressed. So your apology is about you, I said. Not me. That's not what I said, he snapped. Emily stepped forward. Actually, it is. Ryan glared at her. This is a family matter. I raised my hand. She is family. That made him shut up for a second. Mom whispered, Ethan, please come home. We can start fresh. We can fix this. I need you. When you needed me, I said quietly, you chose him. Mom's face crumpled. I was trying to support both of you. No, I cut in. You supported Ryan. Always Ryan. Every time I needed something, I became the problem. Ryan muttered, don't do this. I'm already doing it, I said. Mom reached out like she wanted to grab my hand, but I stepped back. Her voice cracked. I know I messed up. I know we hurt you. But you're still my son. Then why didn't you treat me like one? I asked softly. She covered her mouth, shaking. I don't know. I thought there was more time. There wasn't, I said. Graduation was my last time. And you missed it. Ryan spoke up again. It was one ceremony. My season is not my life, I said. Your success isn't supposed to erase my existence. Emily whispered. You don't have to explain anything to them. I know, I said. But I need to say this. I looked at Mom. I'm not coming home. Her eyes widened. Ethan, I need space, I said. Real space. The kind you never let me have. The kind where I can breathe without feeling like I'm taking something from him. Ryan said, You're being dramatic again. Don't call me that, I said calmly. Not today. Mom wiped her face. Your stepdad wanted to come, but I don't care where Mark is, I said. He never saw me as anything but a distraction. That isn't true, she whispered. It is, I said. And you let it happen. Mom broke. She sank onto the step and sobbed into her hands. Ryan tried to console her, but she pushed him away. I stayed where I was. I didn't move toward her. For once, I didn't try to fix it. Emily squeezed my hand. I didn't let go. Mom finally looked up. Please don't give up on us. I'm not, I said. But I am choosing myself this time. Ryan threw his hands up. Fine. Do whatever you want. He helped Mom up and guided her back toward the car. Before he opened the door, he turned to me and said, Don't expect things to be the same when you come back. I'm not coming back, I said. He froze for a moment, then got in the car without another word. I watched them drive away until their car disappeared around the corner. Emily exhaled. You okay? I don't know, I said. But I'm not shaking. And that's new. She smiled gently. That's strength. My phone buzzed in my pocket. I pulled it out, expecting another message from Mom. But it wasn't her. Coach Harris, call me when you can. I have good news. My heart stopped for a second. Emily. What? She asked. It's Coach. And, she pressed. I called him right there on the porch. Coach. I asked. He laughed. Ethan, you did it. A breath caught in my chest. Did what? You got the scholarship, he said. They want you. My knees felt weak. Emily grabbed my shoulders. What? What did he say? I whispered. I got it. She screamed and hugged me so tightly I almost laughed. Congratulations, Coach said. I'm proud of you. Thank you, I whispered. Really. When I hung up, I sat on the porch and let the night air fill my lungs. Graduation day once felt like the end. Me standing alone in the rain, my seat empty, my chest hollow. It felt like I'd lost everything. But sitting here now, with my future calling my name and people who truly saw me beside me, I realized something. That moment wasn't the end. It was the beginning. The day I finally woke up.